This is Living Left, the raw space where we redefine success, purpose, and identity through honest, unfiltered conversation. We're navigating business, family, change, chaos, one left turn at a time. It's not about finding what's next. It's about owning what's left. Join us and let's go there. Hi, Tanya, or should I call you, hi, Helen?
Hey, Helen Roper. How are you?
This is going to be the very best podcast.
I think
because we just look hilarious. You should adjust your screen so I can see your full hair
Oh,
because
can you
it
not?
is
Oh,
in
there we go.
glory. Oh, there's space.
There we
There
go.
we go.
There was space. This hair just kept going. There we go. Perfect. Love it.
Why are we dressed like this? We're dressed like this because we went out to a hilarious costume fundraiser event on the weekend.
We sure did.
Mrs. Roper event 2.0. We did it last year too.
Yes, we did. Burlington. What is it? Burlington helping Burlington.
Yeah, there's a few Dare to Be You, a few other charities that were included, but for those of us anyone who's watching and thinking, what are these get-ups? First of all, then you're too young because Helen Roper is a character from Three's Company. I think I have part of my wig is in my face.
People will certainly know, well, you would think, John Ritter.
Not everybody knows. So Helen
Yeah.
Roper is a
Our kids would not
hilarious
know.
middle-aged character
Yeah.
in a very dated sitcom called Three's Company, which aired in like the 70s and 80s. But
It's
for
the
our
best.
age, we watched it on reruns after
Yeah.
school. And she's like a middle-aged character married to a kind of stodgy old man who's boring named Stanley, and they are the landlords in the building. But she is kind of this midlife woman who's actually at the time when I watched it, I didn't realize how sexy she kind of was and how,
She was.
she was really very on edge and quite modern in her approach to things, but that was kind of like the whole Stanley just wanted to just minimize her. That was
Yes.
really the point. Anyway, so she's this character that has made this kind of funny costume themed resurgence, and middle-aged women like us are dressing up like her and going to events, and this was come to this fundraiser dressed as this. So we gathered like a dozen friends and we got together and all went as a group, and there's like 100 ropers in the place, so it's like a super silly event. And yeah, we went last year and we went again, right? And so why did you want to go for the second year? Like we already did it the first year. I have my thoughts, but why did you want to do it again?
Well, because I had so much fun the first time round. I wanted to do it, to support you and support a good cause, but mainly the freedom you get from like just having everyone dress up. I remember that feeling and I felt it again because actually I walked into a group not knowing a lot of people. Like I'm actually what I would consider maybe one of the outsiders in that this group of friends have ties that I don't necessarily have ties with, which is typically not an issue for me.
You
Anyway,
have ties to me. You have
have
ties
ties to you. I have ties to you. But there is a greater intersect of this group of women. So I'm kind of just coming in because you invited me and I always say yes to things. But what I love about it is when you dress everyone up in these costumes, there's a level of freedom and inhibition that takes away any nervousness around, meeting new people and having conversations. And I just remember that feeling the first time, and it was the same the second time. It just allows people to just throw away any kind of concerns or nerves or whatever, and you're just being silly together, and it is a great way to connect, I
It's
guess is
such a
the
good
easiest
point.
way. Yeah.
It's like you have freedom to be yourself
Yes.
because you're kind of hidden in this crazy costume, which would
Yes.
be interesting to say, like if we were all dressed up like as Elmo or all dressed up as bananas, would it
Yes.
be the same? Maybe. But
Maybe.
there's something about Helen Roper and her freedom of spirit. And these Kafkans, as we all were like, we should wear these all the time. They're so comfortable.
100%.
And it's like wearing pajamas, sort of.
Yeah.
You're wearing.
And you get
And
to
then,
accessorize and
yeah,
like I don't have my makeup on, but you can do your
no,
makeup in a fun way. Like it just
don't even
is.
have to do your hair. Just put this thing on.
Yeah. And I do think there's a camaraderie in like, again, belonging is so important to people. Like, so many people talk about that, and I do believe that there's something about that. So as again, midlife women, we're all the same age. What was anywhere from what, 47, 48? Maybe there was someone
I
who
would
was a
say
bit
the whole
younger.
group was kind of between 45 and 55.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Roughly. There's just this beauty of just being silly. Like as adults, when do we get to be
Yeah.
fun and silly? It's like what I say
Yeah.
about running. When's the last time you've just sprinted somewhere? Like there's certain things as adults you don't do anymore. Like you
No.
don't, right?
No,
And
that's a
this is
really good point. I remember Megan, my youngest, once asked me, she was like, "When's your favorite time to twirl?" And I was like, "What? When's my
who's
favorite time
twirling?
to twirl?" And that was an era when she wore a tutu everywhere, like she wore dresses and
Yes.
Where's your favorite place to twirl? And I thought, I
Oh my
don't twirl.
God, I don't
I should
twirl
try
anymore.
twirling.
Or
Like,
skipping.
you
When's
don't
have you
do it.
skipped?
Yeah, I don't skip. I maybe skip to the mailbox and everyone makes fun
Do
of me.
you?
Well, once maybe. But you're right. It's like being silly and
Yes,
is
silly is a
in
key.
being silly in our life, which is super, most people's grown up life is very organized in rigor. And, you
Mm-hmm.
hustle from point A to point B and you're doing
Mm-hmm.
things for other people. Being silly, Tanya, is kind of like your left turn in life, actually.
Absolutely.
Like our whole life is full of right turns of like do
Yeah.
this, do this, do this, and then when
I
you
have
get
to behave this way
silly,
and I have to do this. And now I'm just going to have fun for the sake of having fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun to have fun,
It's fun to have fun and
and we
like
don't give
really
ourselves a
have
permission to
legitimate
do
fun.
that.
And I think that's the difference with dressing up. It just takes the fun to another level. I mean, getting together with a bunch of women, eating food, cheese and drinking wine
Did
and
you
tequila,
record
like
this?
yes, it's recording.
Is it okay? Sorry. I
Do you see? I was like,
just
I don't know. Yeah, it's recording.
okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay.
That was a great sentence. Sorry.
That's
Suddenly I'm
okay.
like,
I
we're
don't know
on
what.
fire. We're
Oh, I
not
was saying
recording.
getting together with women, eating cheese and drinking tequila is not regular. Like we do that, but layered in with something that's a little different and silly and fun just takes it to the next level. So I highly recommend. I just don't think, and as women in particular, that we just have silly flippin' fun as much as we could. We do for
Yeah.
our children, we do for our, other people, but just for yourself. That's what I love about it. It's just fun.
I don't think I've laughed as hard as I've laughed. Like last year was the big year because it was the first
We
time we
had
were all
never done
dressing
it.
up in this, and you think, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
I didn't stop laughing the whole night.
Yeah, it was so fun.
This weekend, I laughed almost as much, only a smidgen because it felt more normal,
Yeah,
like a
because we've
little
done
bit.
it before.
I was like used to you in a crazy
Yeah.
orange wig,
It's like
where
whatever.
last year, every time I looked at somebody, I just couldn't stop
I know.
laughing
It was
because
so
it's
great.
outrageously silly. And I wanted to walk around feeling that freedom and just hilariousness all the time, all week. And this week I felt the same. I left this on my dining room table and I was just like, maybe I should put this on.
Yes. It could be
Like
your
just
alter
to laugh.
ego. It's
It's
maybe all of our alter egos.
and that's like, I mean, I really think Helen was onto something. And we just were too young when we watched the show to get
A
her
hundred
wisdom.
percent. Of course.
And
Wonder what our mothers thought.
yeah, and I feel like maybe we are just really realizing our own wisdom as we get a bit older.
I would
Like
agree.
maybe we're all Helens, just maybe we just have a center part instead of this
Yeah, I
curly
would
hair.
agree. I
Like
would
we're all
agree.
Helens. It's like finding your inner Helen. That is maybe going to be the mantra of living left, Tanya,
Yes.
finding your inner Helen
Yes.
in a modern way. Like there were some things she did that maybe aren't perfect for today, for 2025. But
Yeah.
like finding your inner confidence and inner fun and sense of humor. Like you're finding your sense of humor. Like again, I know a lot of funny women, but when you think about it, you know more funny men. Men have been provided maybe more space in their life to practice that humor, or it's more appreciated. Not always like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel
I don't
like
know.
I have
I'm thinking about that comment.
more
I don't
men
know.
I know are funny than women are funny,
Oh, you need more
which
funny women in your life.
I
That
mean,
room was full of funny women.
that totally was, but they were full of funny ropers. My point is, I
Are you
feel
thinking
like,
they're not that way when they're not wearing the costume?
no, I'm not saying they're not funny. I'm not, I
No, no,
like funny people. So I do
I'm not
find,
saying they're not funny.
yeah,
I'm meaning like that, yes, maybe it's the inhibition. It allows you to
yeah,
just be more, to step outside of the shackles that, society and life and expectations are put on you.
yeah,
When you put on a costume, it's permission to just let go and
yeah.
be
Or you
whoever
say
that person
something
is.
wild, maybe you wouldn't normally say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to do a little thinking on that thought of sense
That's
of
a good
humor.
thought
And
for all of us actually. So what's our net? This one's a good, so our net is don't be afraid to just have some silly fun.
yeah, silly fun. Like I love a costume party. I mean, anyone who knows me knows that, yeah, like I've
So
hosted
here's,
many a costume party. I enjoy a costume party, but this is like when I turned 40, we had a big toga party. It was fun, but when people came to the door, I was not doubling over laughing at the toga. It wasn't so outrageous. This is outrageous. This is hilarious.
and I
This
will go one
costume.
step further, as I do not love a costume party where I have to think of something clever to be. I am not that person. And I know there's people out there who's like, that's just one extra thing. Like when the kids had theme days and like, I was like, are you flipping kidding me? I have to get creative. But
I
what I
love
love
that.
about this is there's a prescription to it. There's like, so I'm with you. I can be a themed costume as long as there's very structured, I don't have to think about it. I just have to go and order it and or put it together with what I have.
So you would
Um,
really like to do the Santa Claus pub crawl that I want to plan
yes,
because
like
you're like, give me the
don't
Santa Claus. Don't tell me just be whatever you want.
be whatever you want. Like that brings me great anxiety. On top of everything else, I have to think about what to make for dinner and the costume I'm going to wear. Like I don't have time for that.
I just go to the tickle trunk. See, that's so it's
You
a
are
really
good.
interesting
There's
point though.
people like
It's
that.
very
There's
valid.
people.
I think your
Yeah.
point is very valid. Like,
Yeah.
so some people are like, that sounds too much for me. And then they have to buy into the idea of that they're going to have so much fun. So they just opt out entirely. Other people are like, let me show off my creativity. And then
Yeah,
there's
because
something
some
in the
people weren't
middle about
just,
this prescription costume.
agreed. Some people weren't Mrs. Roper's. There were Stanleys there were Chrissy's there. Like some people went one step further, and that's great. But this, I think, is mass connection, because even me as the like lowest common denominator in the wanting to creatively come up with something was very easy for me to do. I mean, you bought my costume, so that made it even easier. But I could have done it. It was much easier. So I loved
I
it.
did.
It's
I
a good
forgot
idea.
about that.
You did.
I think the biggest
And
theme
my
though,
ticket. So like you
well, I
made it very
made you
easy.
go. You're coming.
I just
There's
had to
no
say yes.
discussion.
It's my favorite thing when people just do the things and go, you want to come? Absolutely. I'll be there. What
Just
time?
do it all for me. I just have to show up.
Totally.
But I'm gonna say as we should probably, I'm not sure how long we've
We
been
can wrap.
recording, but
We
we
can
should
wrap.
probably
Yeah.
wrap up. But I'm thinking the biggest piece, two things I'm coming out of this one with, and I'm have some thoughts on next conversations,
Sure.
is that it's really important for us to be silly more often and like let ourselves be and go in that direction. Like honestly have some true fun, like where there's really laughing and there's really just good vibes. And the second thing you said about belonging, and that
Mhm.
is a theme I think we need to talk about more in Living Left, is that that's real. Like, I think everyone's human goal is to belong and connection. And those are actually a little bit different than they're not exactly the same connection and
Mhm.
belonging. I know I
A
seek
hundred
belonging
percent they're not.
desperately. I want to belong. That's a very
Hmm.
key
And I think
component.
it's hard, it's a point where as women at a certain age where your identity has been mostly catering to other things and people, this idea of belonging can be a not so easy task because you're trying to figure out, who am I in this next left turn? Like who do I want to be? Where do I want to belong? Who are my people?
Yeah. And where you've belonged in the past might not be where you're going to
A
belong in the
hundred
next
percent.
decade.
But you stick on this costume and you know exactly where you belong for 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah,
It was amazing. So
it's so true.
done.
Peace and love for Helen Roper. I love her.
Totally. I
Well,
love
I
her
don't,
too.
and who knows if that's even what she wanted to be, but we've decided this is who she is.
Yes, it works. I love it. All
She's
right.
awesome.
All
Awesome.
right,
Well,
Helen.
yeah. See you later, Helen. We got to get back to work.
We
I
do.
want to show up to the next video
I'm
call
totally
like
showing
this.
up to the
For
next
sure.
meeting like this.
Awesome.
Have a good one.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
If you felt this one, share it, because what's left isn't less, it's everything.
Is that it? I still. You wanted to do it again. I'm like, why are you staring at it?